Hi, I'm here now.
We're not in my room anymore.
Right, well, today.
We're going to do 3 videos, but they're going to be separate. We're spreading it out.
You
so
don't
you have
to tell
no,
anyone
no,
that we're
not
doing
you. I
them
do,
both.
or because they'll think I'm just statty in the same clothes. Because the reason we're doing it is so that you've got content. Because we've been slacking again. We're content.
We have had good reason that
Yes.
we won't go to.
Mm.
Oh, what was the first one?
The Crow.
Oh, we're doing The Crow first?
Yes.
Okay. Now, in 1994, I believe it was, a really good film came out called
The Crow.
featuring...
Brandon Lee.
Now...
You saw my Brandon Lee picture on my wall.
Brandon Lee...
I love him.
She loves him. I think everybody's got a soft spot for Brandon Lee.
I got Bruce on my wall as well.
But I don't think that The Crow would have been such a cult classic if he hadn't died in the making of it. And the reason why I say that is because it was taken from a graphic novel.
Bloody hot in here, isn't it?
Yeah, it is actually. Written by a guy whose name escapes me. And I've been saying it all day, but it's escaping me now. James something. And...
She's stripping off.
I know, I'm stripping off. It's amazing. He wrote a graphic novel, and
Can you get down?
it was very graphic, and in the word graphic novel. They, for some unknown reason, decided that they were going to remake it. I don't know why they did this. Now, I knew it was going to be bad. I knew it was going to be bad. So I tried to look at it from a standalone movie in its own right.
I didn't watch it, I was cleaning up.
As opposed to looking at it as The Crow, a remake, a retelling of the story, I tried to look at it as a standalone because there's no way you can hold anything up to the original Crow.
No.
So, I watched it. It's over an hour of my life I'm never going to get back again. It was that bad. Now, don't get me wrong.
What?
There are certain movies I can watch with Bill Skarsgård in them that I don't mind so much. I can actually talk about them without wincing. The Crow is not one of them. I have no wish to see his bare bum. And you see quite a lot of him half naked.
She's going to die in a minute.
You see Southend East Station as
hell.
Purgatory.
Oh, is it? I thought it was hell.
Yeah, which it pretty much
I
is.
guess I didn't watch the film.
It pretty much is Purgatory. But, yeah, it's actually featured as Purgatory. There's some geezer who nobody knows who the hell he is, but he tells them all about the Crow. And various other things, you know. He gives him black blood and says, now that your blood is black, you will be able to see as a Crow. Which he should have been able to do from the beginning. From the part where he comes back from the dead. She's the performer, not him. Now the performer... Let me just go into this a minute. The woman who plays Shelley is a performance artist called FKA Twigs. She's not good. She dances, she does pole dancing, and well, it says she sings. She sort of groans and tries to sound a bit like Kate Bush, which doesn't work. She's really not worth investing any time in looking up, really.
I'm hot.
She's not that, thank you. She's not that good. So you've got FKA Twigs and Bill Skarsgård, who meet in a drug rehab.
They never took drugs in the original.
And it's a drug rehab that's got men and women mixed.
That doesn't happen.
They escape from the drug rehab.
Well, you can do that because you can check out anytime you want.
Yeah, but they escape.
Yeah.
Because they've got tags on their ankles and stuff.
Right. It's
So-
a prison then.
It's a prison / drug rehab place. They escape. Now, you see Bill Skarsgård, he's got all these tattoos, he's got Lullaby tattooed above his eyebrow, and he's like this hard man who's turns out that he's quite a pussy when he's
He's not supposed to say that word.
pussy cat when he's got cornered by a bunch of other individuals from the drug rehab. He just sort of chickens out.
A wimp. He's a wimp.
But the beginning of The Crow, there is a white horse that's wrapped in barbed wire that is obviously dying. It goes into the house, and his mum and dad seem to be in some kind of chemical-induced stupor.
They're on drugs too.
Yeah. And he grabs the barbed wire that's wrapped around the horse, and it goes into his hands, and he has scars on his hands.
Jesus.
Now, I've got scars on my hands.
I have scars on my hands.
Yeah. But when they're old, when they're over a few years old, they start to fade.
Yeah.
And they end up looking more like a silvery line. Or, in my case, on my knuckles, a deformation. But
Or, in my case, a sort of dent.
yeah. But no. I mean, that's a very old scar. You can't even see it. It's like a silvery line.
Especially as soon as you're back here.
You can't see it there either. It's like a silvery line, you can't really see it. It goes like that and they look fresh. Now, whether this is meant to be that way, maybe it's some kind of artistic vision that the scars are so fresh in his mind that they look fresh. I don't know, but
Sounds like a bunch of poop to me.
Yeah, it is a bunch of poop. But anyway.
I need to lose it. Look.
Anyway, that's the bit about this horse that was never in the original. Then it goes to the drug rehab place that looks like a scene out of The Human Centipede Part 3.
That was a prison.
Yeah, it is not a prison, but it's supposed to be drug rehab. But they escape. Him and FKA Twigs, I mean Shelley, I ain't using their names as well. But they escape.
Well, at least they got their names right.
And they go to this
Is he
house.
called Eric?
Yes.
Okay, there you get the names right.
They go to this house that belongs to a friend of hers who lives abroad most of the time, but he's letting her use the house. Now, the questions, I would ask some questions. She goes to the house. The friend's not there because he lives abroad most of the time, but all the clothes in the house fit her. Yeah. So, then they go to a drug-filled parties, and they also do something unspeakable on the guy's sofa, which is where you see Skarsgård's bum. And if I was the friend, I'd never let her stay there. Because she messes up his sheets, she does stuff on his sofa, no way. So, yeah, they go to a drug-fueled party, and a lot of their stuff is drug-fueled. And she goes, if you really knew what I'd done, you wouldn't like me anymore. No, this is supposed to be true love, right? This is true devotion. If you truly love someone, you don't care what they've done. I'm sorry, but if you really, truly are in love with someone, you may not like what they've done. You may think what they've done is absolutely heinous, but you're not going to go, you don't like me anymore if you know what I've done. It don't work. No. It doesn't work. So I thought that was a bit
naff.
Yeah. And then it goes on to, you see her friend who's got this video of her doing something on a mobile phone. And she goes and sees this bloke and he whispers in your ear, he goes,
Aye.
And he's got some kind of hold over you. He's like some kind of wizard.
Is that like AI?
he's some kind of wizard. And he kills her. And so she can't spread this film on this that's been taken away. It sort of loses some plot on that. And then he gets shot and ends up at Southend East Station. And this geezer comes out from behind a pole, which could happen on Southend East Station. It's a bit of a freaky place. And
yeah, no, I get that.
He tells him
been alone there too many times.
He tells him that he's dead, and that he can avenge Shelley if he does as he's told. So he spends the rest of them, pretty much the rest of the film, getting shot, getting killed again, and then getting killed again, and then getting his friend killed.
See you on camera.
And after he gets killed and his friend gets killed and everyone gets killed, he goes back to Southend Station. Because he keeps ending up back there. It's like Groundhog Day. Every time he gets killed, he ends up at Southend Station again.
Well, that would be hell in itself.
Yeah, so he's at Southend Station.
What are you doing?
And Freaky behind the pole man comes out and pokes him in both eyes. He's got his thumbs in his eyes. Like that. He's like that.
Don't do it to Andy. Oh, you've upset him now.
And he goes, "No, you have black blood you can see as the crow sees." Now,
What did you do that for?
he's all right. I think that is part of the whole point, was to see as the crow sees.
Mm.
You know, and he says the line that the Chinese woman says in the original Crow about...
I like the pretty lads.
No. they live in a world between the land of the living and the land of the dead, and they can ferry your soul. And he gives him the whole spiel about that.
Oh.
So he decides that he's going to avenge...
And the crow who carries is the soul. That's what
Yeah.
she said anyway.
Yeah, well, he pretty much says the same. Then you get this thing, he gets really annoyed. He goes to his mate's house, his mate gets killed and he gets beaten up really badly. And then he goes to Avenger and he goes to the opera. And it's a Debussy opera, which is the best part of the film, is that opera, the clip of that opera.
Can I just say something though, right? My mum said that the film is, I won't watch it, I will not watch it. She said it's really gory, okay? The whole point of The Crow wasn't about the gore. It's a revenge film.
Yeah, but then again, the graphic novel was pretty gory. But
Yeah, but it wasn't about the gore.
anyway, there is a lot of gore. He gets his leg broken and you see him clip it back in. But the thing is, in The Crow, yes, you can see it hurts Eric when he gets shot.
Yeah, because he says ow at one point.
But he's not like really in agony. He doesn't feel the actual pain that would be inflicted if he didn't have the crow carrying.
If you've
Oh.
seen The Crow, you know what it's about. You know what happens at the beginning. You know that Eric and Shelley get killed.
Oh, they get killed in this. I mean, they stick a dry cleaning bag over their heads, which is not as... To be honest, if you watch the original Crow, that part of it is a lot more graphic than this abomination. It really is.
So Eric gets thrown out the window. I'm not going to say what happens to Shelley, but Eric gets thrown out the window. And Shelley doesn't die straight away, but she's being tortured and something else. And that I'm not allowed to say on this channel.
Grapes.
Yeah, grapes. And quite violently. And it's a gang one. So, and...
It's a gang grape.
There's how many of them is there?
Fun
Funboy,
Boy.
the
other
knifey,
one,
the
nutty
knifey
one.
guy, the loony, and there's four. There's four of them.
Yeah, because you've got the guy with the knives,
Yeah.
who has the knives placed in all his organs in alphabetical order, which is a lot better than what happens in this abomination.
Funboy.
Fun Boy gets got out and he sort of sorts out Darla, who isn't in this one at all. Darla at the same time.
Is she not?
No.
Not even
there's-
Sarah, is she?
There's no Darla, no Sarah, no.
Sarah, who was the main part of the film.
Yeah, not in it. Then there's
The one who sort of, the
the nutty
leader.
one who he tapes down in the car.
Oh, the worm.
And then there's there's the worm. The worm's the other one. The worm's the one who sort of half gets away at first, and then you got the one he tapes in the car.
Yeah.
When
So
you
there's-
hear the music come
four
up.
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's four of them. And they all get
Well,
at
there's
Shelley.
actually more of them because there is a big gang, but there's four of them that are sent to deal with that.
Because she sent out an eviction notice and they didn't like it because she was living in a bad part of town. And no, it wasn't. It was a noise. It was something to do with noise, and she sent out a complaint. Because she sent out a complaint, they decided it'd be fun to go and grapes. And Eric comes in and they throw Eric out the window.
Don't they shoot him first?
They stab him. They throw knives at him.
They do something anyway.
And they got a gorgeous white cat called Gabriel, who is beautiful.
Not in this one.
Ah! Oh my God, Gabriel's not in it either.
So he goes to Avenger and he goes to the opera. The opera's pretty good. It's just Debussy, and then he goes up the stairs and he starts killing indiscriminately, and he kills loads of them.
Give him a rundown of the original one.
He's got the guns and he goes a bit mental. Now, the film is a piece of effluent. It really is. It's excrement.
Poop.
I can't say how bad it is.
No, I think what she's getting at is if you want to watch The Crow, watch the original one.
Yeah, don't watch this abomination, please. It's disgusting.
And what happens at the opera?
Well, at the opera, he goes up the stairs, and there's a load of this wizard bloke's men there, and he kills them all.
She didn't mention that.
And chops the woman's head off. Because there's a woman who's like his right-hand man sort of thing, but she's a woman.
Is she like the sister? Top Dollar sister?
No.
No, okay.
No. She's like his right-hand man. You don't actually...
Actually...
A lot of people don't see him. They deal with her.
I think... Give me a second. I'll just check, because I think it's on Netflix. So you're on Netflix or Prime. Let me just check for you. Netflix.
I think it's on Sky, actually.
I think it's on Netflix or it's on Prime. Carry on talking while I look for it.
Right, anyway, so he goes, he chops the woman's head off and he dangles it around a bit and shows off with it. And then he decides that he's going to kill this wizardy guy who had actually talked Shelley into killing someone.
Prime.
With his...
Sorry, but that was a telly.
And he goes around and he just kills him. But the guy at Southend Station tells him that he can bring Shelley back.
Who'd want at that point?
And he does bring Shelley back. I don't know why he does it. I don't know what his point for doing it is. I mean, she's the musical artist in this. It was Eric. It was always Eric. It was never Shelley. It wasn't really about Shelley as such. Yes, it was about her in as much as he's avenging her, but it was more about his vengeance than what actually happened, even though they do show it. But he brings her back.
Yeah, it's on Prime. Both of them are.
He brings her back and he's condemned to wait in Southend Station until he dies.
Right, hang on. So you've got on Prime, if you've got Amazon Prime, you've got The Crow and The Crow. My advice to you would be watch The Crow with Brandon Lee in it, which is with the white background and the red writing. Watch that one. Don't watch the other one.
Even after you've watched the original Crow, you can watch like The Crow Salvation and things like that. Because although they're not as good, there are other people that the Crows helping to avenge a situation. So it's not as pathetic as this attempt.
But I would say if you're gonna, it's on Prime. So if you want to watch it,
but he brings her back to life amazingly. Yes, I'm giving spoilers. I don't care. He brings her back to life and he's condemned to stay in Southend Station. I'm not sure how long for. I don't know if it's until the Crow that's carrying this soul dies or she dies, but he's stuck there anyway. Which I think is a bit of a lousy deal because they've only known each other about 6 weeks. So, you know.
I've got to stop eating these. I've got to go on a diet. And get rid of my fat belly.
But yeah, it's a bit of a lousy deal. But I thought, right, well, we'll go into the soundtrack while we're sort of like talking about it.
I saw you.
I was in shock. I know that on soundtracks, sometimes you use classic music, you know, like if it's about the 50s, you have classic music from the 50s, as in Back to the Future. and things like that. You have classic music from the era. Okay, I'm not sure when this Crow is set. I think it's supposed to be present day. Now, I did a bit of research. I ripped my head off doing this. It drove me nuts.
Where's my list for one of the
It's
other videos?
The other side of that paper.
Okay.
Right. We'll start off with Debussy. It's old. And I can't actually see what I've written here.
Sorry, just watching me eat my Crispies.
Debussy. It's old. I went through and I found out the release dates on all of these. Okay, the Crow thing, which is the theme tune to the film, which is absolute
Caca.
difficult to listen to. That came out in 2024. Eric's theme, which you don't even hear all of these songs, you just hear snippets of it, but Eric's theme was also from 2024. Disorder by Joy Division. Now, the lead singer of Joy Division died God knows how long ago, but they remastered it in 2007, and that's the one they used. Fall, featuring Copeland the Bug, right? It's 2014. Gary Newman and Me, 79.
The Pleasure Principle.
That's the name of the album it's from.
Oh.
Enya Boadicea, one of my favourites, came out in 1987.
How was this year I was born? Everyone knows my age now.
Like I say, it is an old piece. Debussy, 1894 that was written. It was like, that's the Debussy one. Take What You Want, Ozzy Osbourne, Post Malone.
Post Office Malone.
Travis Scott.
Right, one thing, okay. Travis Scott has been ruining the wrestling.
Yeah, he's been inserting himself into WE.
He has. It all started with The Rock, Cody Rhodes, and John Cena at the Rumble.
Yeah.
At the Rumble. Royal Rumble. And
No, it was before the Rumble.
Was it?
Pre-Rumble, yeah.
I thought it was at the Royal Rumble.
No, at the Royal Rumble, Travis Scott was the one who came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but...
No, that was at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Right.
But it was before
Right, I
that.
believe it was the Rumble, okay.
Oh,
So,
yeah, the
yeah, it
Rumble,
was, because
yeah.
John Cena just won. Cody Rhodes, John Cena, then The Rock, and Travis Scott were all in the ring. This is when John Cena turned into heel, because he was a face, and then he turned heel. This is all stuff that you probably know. He ruined WrestleMania by coming out and helping Cena. Now, I was on the fence about that match. I told you I was on the fence about it. Didn't really care who, or I cared, but I didn't really, I like Cody, but then I like Cena. So it was like, I don't really care who wins it, as long as, one of them does. But John Cena is being a bit of a pansy at the moment, and I'm getting annoyed with him. But Travis Scott came out and helped Cena. He has no right being in the wrestling ring. Just like Logan Paul has got no right being in the wrestling ring. Right?
Yeah. Are you done?
Yeah, sorry. I'm passionate about my wrestling.
Right. Take What You Want, which is the music they've used for the trailer, which is Ozzy Osbourne, Post Malone, and Travis Scott.
Post Malone.
That came out in 2019. Now I'm going to let that one ride, and I'll tell you why in a minute. The Flesh by a band called Traitors, never heard of it. 2018. The Killer by Phil someone or other and something Thomas. 2024. Total Depravity, The Vows, 2016. Meaning, Cascadeur, 2011. What Went Down by The Foals came out in 2015. And God Is in the East is F.A. Twigs, and that came out in 2025. Now, okay, 2025, 2024, fair enough. So F.A. Twigs just included that on her album because she sang a little snippet of it in the film. And it's really not worth listening to, so I wouldn't advise it. But the reason why I said I'll let the fact that the trailer it's thin flesh. I said I'd let ride because it came out in 2018. This film has been postponed and postponed and postponed and postponed since before COVID. But that's still no excuse for having songs from 1979 on the blooming soundtrack when it doesn't even apply to the film. I mean, the tune is called Emmy. And it's from the Pleasure Principle album.
In the original Crow, it was also like music from that kind of era.
This is from everywhere now. I quite like the idea that it's pilfered music from here, there, and everywhere. But to say to announce it as a new soundtrack and promote it as that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that
Ow.
most of the music is blooming old.
That fly is driving me nuts.
And I mean, it's not even done by different artists to update it. It's just, you got a couple of remastered on there. I mean, Enya's both series remastered. But it was remastered in 2007. You know, it's taking the mickey slightly. A song that's almost 40 years old.
Just go and watch the original.
Go and watch the original. That's what I would advise. The soundtrack is...
You got The Cure on there?
The soundtrack is doo-doo. The film is doo-doo.
Not the original, this is the new one.
This is the 2024 version. The film is doo-doo. The soundtrack is doo-doo. Just forget about it.
The old one though, they had The Cure on it, doing the song "Burn."
Which was written for that film.
Yeah, there is a little bit of Brandon Lee singing actually on the record. You said that was Brandon Lee.
No, I said it was Brandon Lee.
Yeah.
It can't rain all the time.
Rain all the time. Rain all the time. Rain all the time.
Yeah. But that was good. But this is so. I don't know the word for it. In some cases, it's watered down. I mean, they've ramped up the violence, but that's about it. It's like watching Die Hard and a hybrid of Die Hard and The Witch, which was... I don't even know what that film was about now. It had Ron Perlman in it. And there was something going on with the sky. And I downloaded it to watch it. It was called The Witch. Sounded quite interesting. The download wouldn't work. The download took about 4 hours to work. And by then I was committed, you know, I'd already started watching
Download, don't even stream.
Well, the streaming was... I had the little ring going round.
Yeah, streaming.
So I'd started watching it, and by then I was committed because I thought something good was going to happen. I didn't know it was just going to be a load of rubbish with them going round on horses and shouting at each other a lot. I thought it was actually going to be worth watching, but it turns out it wasn't. But if you mix that with all the stops and the crap on the stream I had, mixed with the worst version of Die Hard you can imagine. And I love Die Hard. Massive Die Hard fan. I'm talking about the guns. It was nearly all guns. At least Brandon Lee switched it up a bit. It wasn't all guns. But it was really, really bad.
Pack it in.
And will I sit and watch it again? No. Am I sorry I sat and watched it the first time? Yeah. It was really bad.
I told her not to watch it.
Please.
Don't watch
if
it.
you see The Crow with Skarsgård and FKA Twigs in it, run 500 miles in the opposite direction, because it really is not worth watching. It really is not.
Right.
And the soundtrack's not worth listening to.
Is this video done now?
Yes.
Right.
So, be kind and considerate, and until we release the next one...
Until we meet again.
We'll see you soon on Tales from the Toilet Bowl.
Bye.
Bye.